Hi, welcome to Model A Times videos on restoration projects. I'm John with the Model A Times, and we're going to give you some insight on how to restore a part on the Model A. We will give you a little update on what tools you'll need for this project and the parts and pieces that you will need to replace. Okay, this is the assortment of pieces that you will need and the tools you'll need to accomplish the rebuild of a Model A distributor. There was a few changes in the bodies over the years, from the early to the later parts of production. The the functionality of them are all the same, so it doesn't really, if you're just going to be making a driver, finding a good housing is the first step. Getting it cleaned up and what have you is of course important, so it looks nice and all the pieces fit and work. Now the key element in the distributor is to eliminate as much slop that affects the points. The points are the key firing element of the distributor. If you are running points that have slop, the timing will vary and your engine won't run smoothly. You could have heating problems, starting problems, etc. Now, one of the things that needs to be done on virtually all of these is to replace the bushings. The kit, you can get the bushings from any of the regular parts vendors. We'll show you how to pull them out and what tools. We have the tools here to do it. The other piece is to replace the shaft. The shaft tends to wear. The oiling system on these is not the best, and we've even had it seize on a car and shear off this tang. As you can see here, the tang is worn, and it needs to mate with the lower shaft so that it makes a good solid connection. If it's worn, it will tend to move a little bit, and this is where you get a little slop. So replacing the little shaft is very important. Early in the 60s or so, they made these longer shafts, which basically eliminated this connection. The connection is found to be necessary because it releases some of the pressure on the bushings. Now, the other things you'll need are the upper and lower plates. You'll need the bushings, of course. We recommend you pull the oiler off and replace it. They make new ones of those. You'll need new points and condensers. If you can't get this sleeve and pin out, they make new ones of these. This goes on to the bottom of the shaft, holds it in place, and is the connection, keeps the two shafts together. Now, tools that you'll need: a 1/2-inch tap. This isn't for doing threads per se, but what you're going to do, you'll see this in the instructions how to do it. You'll put this in, and it's a way of driving and pulling the bushing out. You'll need a way of putting the bushings in. We use a tool that has a step in it. It goes inside to keep from deforming the the bushing as it goes in, and we ream them once the bushings are in with a reamer that will go the entire distance, doing both at the same time. This keeps a parallel course for the shaft, and you'll need a hammer to drive the bushings out and bushings in. We're going to rebuild a distributor. This is the starting point. It's your typical standard Model A distributor, nothing too esoteric about it. One of the things that we don't think is a good alternative is the long shaft that is on this one. We will be going to a shorter shaft. Thinking when they did this back in the 60s or what have you is that it eliminated one of the joints, but it puts a stress on the bushings and wears the bushings out. We recommend going to the upper shaft that's drilled for oil. It has a provision where you can oil from the top. It comes out the side right to the bushing. We have personally experienced a failure on one where the shaft froze, and when it did, the distributor froze up. The car, as it continuing to try and run, it sheared this connecting shaft right off. So that's where we are. We will disassemble this. The part that holds it together, the pin has been knocked out right there. It should come apart fairly simple. There we are. That's off. The other thing is to remove the inside components, the upper and lower plate. This is where the wiring and everything is connected to. You will see various options as we go through the rebuild. We're going to show you the components that are options that are out there, from original style points and condenser, the modern style points and condenser, and then the latest is the electronic points and condenser. Anyway, that's taking it apart. We will go over and sandblast this, get it cleaned up, ready to go. Sandblaster takes care of all the dirt and crud and little stuff on there, so we're in pretty good shape. Cleanliness now. So we will next remove the bushings. Thread it on into the bushing. Put it in. Flip it over. And I simply use the shaft that came out. It'll go back into the top. And the bushing out. Okay, we have the shaft, the new shaft in the distributor housing. Now we have to make up the decision of what the lower plate we're going to use. This is the one that has the little wire on it that connects to the upper plate in most instances. They do make a lower plate and an upper plate that work together. You have to put them in as a unit that's wireless. We have not run this. I know that Mike at Lincoln Products, who did some of the work on various cars, has used it and seems to like it. But the lower plate, this wire needs to, it's imperative that you check it. You've removed it and repaired, because this will short out. You can see all the different ones where they wear and fray, and how they've been patched together. The suggestion is made that you put a little longer wire. The original wire was rather short, so put that a little longer. We do recommend you use original lower plates unless you're going to the combination, but the thickness of the metal, this piece here takes abuse from the fact that this is the one that when you put the plate in, it drops in, and this is where the spring from the heavy cable that comes from the ignition switch pushes against. Some of the reproduction lower plates, the metal is not as thick or heavy or sturdy, or however you want to phrase it, and we've seen these bend when they screwed like that. This other connection is where the condenser, the back of the condenser, is connected through the hole here, or here. So when that plate is in there, you will it gives you the connection point for the standard original style condenser. You see it. There's a screw there that you attach it to, and it's screwed in right here. It sits in this hole. It mounts in like this, and then you simply have a screw here that holds it in place, and a screw in here that holds it in place. Today we're going to take an original distributor and install the FS electronic ignition components into it. This doesn't give us centrifugal advance, but it does give us the high output spark that electronic ignition is known for. Okay, in the original distributor, you remove the cam and the upper plate, and you remove the lower plate. None of these are used on the FS components, so just undo them and set aside. The wires are fed out through the original input conduit hole. FS supplies you with a modified one to run all these out so that they are not visible to the person looking. So with this installed, it's not obvious that you're running electronic ignition, which to a lot of the purists is important. You did notice that I replaced the spring even without the lower plate, so it puts the tension back into the upper plate mechanism, so it'll hold itself when you set the points wherever you set the advance, wherever you want to set it. The electronic sensing device simply slides over the normal cam that is on the distributor. In the instructions it does say to make sure that it clears by about 1/8 of an inch the notch that the rotor slides into. It simply goes onto the shaft. And the screw goes back in. Now we always use the, which was shown when we rebuilt the distributor itself, the drilled out shaft so that it you can oil at the top. That saves the bushings. And we had a failure on the Roadster that this is going on to the original distributor. The upper bushing wasn't receiving oil and actually froze and sheared the tang off the shaft. I put the back in, and that will conclude the simple installation of electronic ignition into a standard distributor. Okay, I hope you enjoyed your video on the Model A repair. Looking forward to seeing you put this together and put it into your car, and join us for the summer tour or a trip down to the ice cream store for a double dip. If you have any questions, you can visit our website, www.modelatimes.com. There you can contact us via email or phone or what have you like that. We hope to get you on the road and enjoying the wonderful Model A hobby. Well, as always, it's the journey, not the destination. Thank you.
Looky here now, John, I got enough of you. You've been a bad boy all a week. What you do last night with the 60 cents? Oh, what's the match? Why you not speak? You smash the chair, you pull the hair, you